So let's get into now the film itself. This guy on the left, so that's John Buchan, and most people haven't heard of him, but in his day he was a best-selling author. Everybody heard of him. And he wrote the 39 Steps in 1915, so it was right after the war. And at the time, the war was new. So many ways of looking at the world were new. And the espionage, the spy story was in its infancy, and people wanted to write about it, wanted to create drama around it, but they weren't exactly sure. But this is the guy who really cracked the nut of what a spy caper novel should be. So in a sense, he's the granddaddy behind Ian Fleming and Jean Le Carré and so many other spy writers. And if you ask them, if you Google it, they'll say that this is the guy who influenced their work. He was also from Canada. He was British. He was sent to Canada by the Crown to run the country. In addition to that, he was Baroning von Tweedsmuir, whatever, and then he wrote 20 novels, a couple of books of history. So he's just one of those overachieving, intellectual British people that, kind of want to punch him in the stomach. So if he created the spy genre for novels, then what does that make Hitch? So Hitchcock had been a huge fan of his from his teen years. He was reading him as a kid and loved his work. He was a big fan. And then he finally had the opportunity to turn one of his favorite novels into a film. And he hadn't read the book in years. So he grabbed the 39 Steps, pulled it off the shelf, and realized that it was unfilmable. There were just too many strange coincidences that wouldn't fly and other situations that just didn't translate to cinema. So he took the book, learned what he could from it, and then tossed it out the window and adapted it for the screen. Added the romance, which wasn't there, and Mr. Memory, who also was not in the novel. So, and along the way, what he was doing then was taking a literary masterpiece, a literary classic, you could say, and then he turned it into a cinematic classic. So, without the 39 Steps, really, we wouldn't have James Bond movies and the Jason Bourne movies. They all center around the same guy. If you look in the top in the right hand corner there, that's probably Richard Hannay stumbling upon the bad guys in their lair. And the magic, the secret sauce of the book was the idea there was a double chase. And so you had this guy who was pretty much an everyman, was suddenly dropped into these extraordinary, geopolitical situations and had to save the world. So the whole movie-making trope, one man, one planet, pretty much comes from this movie right here.